Huh?
What's taking Storm so long?
Just sit down and relax. Chill, Wave.
Really, Jet? How can you be so relaxed at a time like this? Don't you see? As the leader, you've got responsibilities. Some you understand, but you...
Huh? I think it's time for a little fun.
Huh? Hey, Jet! You come back here, right now! Why do I even bother? Unless I take charge, nothing ever gets done here.
Finish in first place. Very simple. In case you're wondering, yes, that little setup spiel that Wave does is fully voiced. If you slow it down, she does have a whole conversation. I forget what it is, but she does have an entire conversation there. Anyway, what's cracking, people? Anansi here, and welcome back to Sonic Riders. In the last one, we started the Babylon Rogue side of the Sonic Rider story. In this one, we're going to continue and hopefully finish it this time with the hard mode version of White Forest. Yeah. And, okay, so yeah, back to it again. There's not too much really to talk about at this point in the game. We're pretty much just seeing the other side of the story and seeing what the Rogues were up to at this point in time, with regards to the main story. And it's nothing too crazy. Sabotage here, espionage here, trying to figure out what it is Eggman's really up to, and all this extra stuff. That's pretty much it. It's nothing too crazy. All these. See, they almost get you there. They put a split in the rail over a bottomless pit, so you gotta be careful with some of these shortcuts, just because they will try to screw you over first chance they get. But yeah, just going off of it, I should have gotten that rail. But going off of it, so with regards to Sonic Riders, yeah. That's one of the here. I got one more lap left, so it's not too crazy. But yeah, going back to it, I like the level design for the most part of Sonic Riders, but going back to a previous point I made in the hero story, a lot of Sonic Riders, how did I miss that? A lot of Sonic Riders' problem, and the main reason why I think that it didn't catch on the way it probably could have. I know I recommended an earlier part, Some Call Me Johnny's video on the review. For his review of Sonic Riders and what his problem was, he brought up a lack of conveyance of the mechanics. I'm going to disagree with that part partially. I won't say he's not in the right. I do understand where he's coming from. Okay, that looks like this guy just beat me. Yes, he did. Okay, starting off strong. But the issue I take is the idea that the lack of conveyance of the mechanics is what ultimately is a major contributor. I don't think it is. I think it's a partial contributor. The major contributor, I think, for why Sonic Riders didn't take off has everything to do with lack of level variety. Because let's be honest, the mechanics here are not difficult, and at some point, someone's going to ask themselves, okay, well, how do I use this? How do I use that? I mean, and there is a manual with this game. This was back when you still had paperback instructions come with the game. You can always look up the controls there, and then you can go to tutorial mode if you want to use tutorial to see what you're missing. That's how I actually found out about the grind rail. You don't need to know all the mechanics to complete the game. As a matter of fact, you need all the mechanics. Well, you need all the mechanics to come in first place. If you hit both triggers, you do this little tornado spin that messes up anyone behind you. I didn't know about this until Johnny's review on the game. I think it came out, I want to say, a year or so ago. It wasn't very long ago. I never knew about this mechanic. I didn't know how to activate it. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't even know it existed. But I never needed to know because I always came in first place. Conversely, I never knew, like, I'm back on Steelix, I never knew about the, I never knew how to grind on rails for the longest time, and I was still coming consistently in first place. Flight and power, those were simple because all you do is fly into the ramps with the respective areas what's the word? To make use of them. It wasn't hard, but with the grind rails, you just didn't know. And you could pop, and you could feasibly discover by accident just by jumping over a rail and then hitting A once. It's feasible to do it. It's just the odds of it happening naturally are very low. So in that regards, I do understand where he's coming from. A lack of advance can be a problem, but there is a tutorial that you can go to. It's separate. It's not built into the game, but it is separate. You can go to the learn the mechanics. So I think it's a negligible complaint. The main problem is just lack of level variety, and the levels themselves are well put together. They're short, they're snappy. It takes maybe a minute or two to get around each and every track. Not a minute or two, but like maybe 3 minutes or something to get around each and every track. It's not a very long track, but they are fun tracks nonetheless to go through. There's just not many of them. And I think pulling more from Sonic's gallery would have been helpful at this point, because this was before Sonic Chronicles, so you could have still feasibly gotten away with using some of the Archie characters before that whole crap storm hit. But that's another thing in of itself. Let's continue on.
Boss! Sorry to keep you waiting for me.
How'd it go?
Take a look at this, boss!
Gimme. Yes. Is this?
What is it?
It's an entry in Eggman's diary. It's about the Babylon treasure from our ancient ancestors.
I got those bird brains to believe that Babylon treasure was just a gem. I can't believe that they fell for it.
What fools! Can you believe the real treasure is the ancient but advanced technology of the Babylonians? What irony! I found a story about a boy who received an angel wing from the Babylonians as a gift. The story says that with it, the boy was able to rule the world. And this was just a gift. I'm anxious to find this technology as soon as possible. Imagine the vast possibilities of the technology they must have kept for themselves.
Oh, man. I guess it's not a gem after all.
Oh well. Guess this was just a wasted effort. Too bad, really. I haven't the slightest interest in world domination or advanced technology.
Hey, wait a second, okay, Jet? While Eggman may not look smart, he is. He has an IQ of 300 after all. If he's interested in this technology, it must have value.
Are you saying there's profit in this?
Think about it. It may be more valuable than finding silver or gold.
Why'd you do that? I was just having this great daydream.
Come on, Jet. It's time to go back to the race.
All right, let's finish this. Then we'll finally get the treasure of Babylon.
Win the World Grand Prix. Now this level is the second hardest level in the entire game. Dark Desert. A lot of twists and turns. You can very easily get turned around in here. Just follow the map and you'll be fine. Actually, you can't even follow the map because the map doesn't even exist. Wait, my bad. That was just the other thing. So just be careful because there's a lot of ways you can fall off here, and it's just really, really difficult. So just be on the lookout for that. So yeah, so canonically we are we're doing the race that Jet wins in the Grand Prix. Okay, take the speed route. And luckily you don't know how to do the grind rails. They give you a bit of ways to get around that. So I do give them on that level design, which is one of the things I do appreciate about the game. But yeah, going off of that, you may notice like, oh, okay, Babylon Garden, Advanced Technology. What about the okay? So you may notice that I haven't talked about how there's a lot of parallels to the Hanging Gardens of Babylon inside of this story. The one thing about Sonic is that they take a lot of inspiration from real world locations and historical elements. So it is interesting that they would use Babylon Gardens and everything, but it was recently, well, I won't say recently, but it was something that I found out recently that the Hanging Gardens of Babylon might not have been in reference to literal hanging gardens. It might have been an advanced technological feat at the time. So the thing about the Babylon Gardens is that a misconception, I think this is kind of to do with mythology and having to be, stories be kind of altered over time. What was it Dr. Who used to say? All stories are based on all stories are based on memories. Stories are where memories go when they're forgotten. It's something like that. I gotta look at the quote again, but it's a very rough quote. So the idea that the Hanging Gardens were this marvel where they were just kind of floating in the air, but it's really more like they were just put on this high pedestal that kind of looked like they were floating, and they were able to get water up to them in ancient times. So the idea was that some advanced form of architectural engineering is what led to the floating gardens, or led to the Hanging Gardens. And this is what I think Sonic 2 is playing at, is that the Babylon Garden, this floating garden that we saw at the end of the Hero Side story, isn't anything mythical, isn't anything crazy. It's just an advanced piece of technology from ancient times, and it is a clever way of bringing truth to fiction. Now, the thing is that I don't think that this was even that the advanced technology theory was even a thing at the time. I think it just kind of showed up as a result. But it is an interesting concept to think about. A lot of things that we take as like these grand myths are just like ancient people doing really advanced things for their time, like the ancient pyramids. That was a technological marvel that, by all accounts, should not have been created at the time frame they were created. It's really interesting to think about.
Newsflash. A mysterious airborne object has just appeared above the site where the X-World Grand Prix is being held. Apparently, Sonic and his friends have gone to investigate. We'll try and get more details right after this important announcement. Oh man, looks like we have company.
We gonna rumble? Targeting, attack.
Knuckles, now's not the time to fight. Smart thinking. Let's get out of here. Forget the red mutt. Let's go, Storm.
Did she say red mutt? Why you?
Hey, Knuckles, wait for me!
Run from Eggman Robo, finished first place. And yes, that is the same red robot that Storm and Knuckles beat the crap out of in the Hero story. Sky Road. Now, I want to say that this version of of Babylon Gardens actually isn't that hard. I don't remember it being difficult because I don't think there's as many areas to just fall off of on the race, but I don't remember. It is changed from when Jet and Sonic were racing it. And yes, you do have to do a specific jump in order to get up top. You probably saw Tails while using that turbulence. You had to do a specific jump to get up there. That shortcut's kind of hard to time. I'm not gonna lie. So a lot of the character shortcuts you do need to use like jump skills and trick skills in order to get to. So keep that in mind as you're going through. So we got Tails, Knuckles, and a random bot in front of it. So yeah, but yeah, we're not playing the race against Sonic this time. We're just running from the Eggman Robo. So it's kind of it's a rather anticlimactic. Ooh, that's on me. It's a rather anticlimactic end to Babylon's story because you don't get any like triumphant showdown. It's just run from the Eggman Robo. That's literally it. So I have to be real careful because not very far. I'm far enough behind it. I think I can pull this back. I got one more lap left to come from the first place. It's essentially just one more rival battle. That's all it is. And to be honest, I'm kind of fine with this because you're basically each and every single race is the canonic ending to every other race. So in Hero Side Stories, Sonic, Knuckles beats Storm. Tails, I think, beats Wave, and Sonic loses the Jet due to interference on Wave's part. Oh, I missed that. That's probably in first place. Now, yep, they got ahead of me. Yeah, I'm not winning this. Saw that coming. I'm not winning that. Yep, I did not get that jump right. So you're essentially just kind of playing through the canonical stories. That's what's going on, and I think that they didn't want to contradict that. Sonic ultimately won in the end against Jet because they already did the whole fake out thing with Sonic's story where, oh, we should look at that. So they always look at that. Sonic's about to win, and then it just cuts to black. You don't even get to finish the race. It just ends. So you have to come in first place, but you don't get to come in first place. Oh, well, I was out of air. Okay, that might have cost me there, but we'll see what happens. But all in all, this isn't a very hard race. I think it's just because I think the difficulty comes from just getting the jumps just right. So you want to try to just make use of every single shortcut you can before anything else happens. Which as you should be doing with these racing games. When you understand the mechanics, you should be able to easily find shortcuts that you didn't know existed beforehand. There was a shortcut in the Egg Factory that I didn't get to show off that I wanted to with Knuckles. That requires you to punch through a wall that I didn't. That once again I didn't know about until watching the Slim Comic Johnny review. It was eye-opening when I saw. I'm like, that's been there the entire time. And one of these things I want to get is, but that is not there. Yeah, I'm not going to get that. Right, so my flying is back. Yep, especially when I'm doing jumps like that. Let's put them behind the Egg Robo and Knuckles and Storm. Fourth place though, they're way ahead of me. There you go, just gotta watch out for that and go from there. Wait, can I do this? Can I do this? Nope. Messed up. Nope, he's got up there. No, and then the robot's right there, so no. We try it. So I thought I had it, I did it. Yeah, listen, it looks like the difficulty of this race just comes from the AI and just making sure you're not making dumb decisions like I am. And there we go. So yeah, just keep that in mind while you're doing this. You should be fine. The speed booster, so yeah, there's that. I think that's so rare that I forget it's even in the game, but it's pretty much been in every Sonic game ever. I don't think there's ever been a Sonic game where it hasn't been in there. Slow down a bit too much for that shortcut to be worth it. I think it's based on how long you charge the jump. That might be what it is. So you gotta charge up the max you want to get up there. How long you charge it and how long you wait to get there. So it helps to be in first place so you don't get messed up by your other enemy's wake. You can jump out of the wake by using okay, that's on me. That's on me. That's on me. I thought that was a jump and I messed up. That happens from time to time, not gonna lie. Yeah, I might have just lost this race because of that. Oh no, wait, I can still call this back. I got one more lap left after this. My Knuckles and that robot. But you can get out of that awake by using the tornado spin disruption technique to help you out. So that's something that you can use. Just keep that in mind when you get down to jumps. Because I wonder for a long time to get out of that. I just kind of experimented, literally in the last episode. Not last episode, I think in the Hero Side story. Been playing as Tails to see if I could get out of the wake. And you can. You can. So at least they give you an outfit in case that's annoying you or something like that. But you gotta use that technique to do it. Right? Funny, don't they? Get my air back. Okay, now I definitely won the race. As long as I don't have any last minute nut jobs, we should be fine. And boom. So yeah, it takes like less than a minute to get around each lap. So it is a fairly short race. But anyway, I guess with that, we'll go ahead and keep going.
I lost! So don't play games with me! I don't want your pity, nor do I need it!
What? Are you crazy? If they don't want it, then let's take it. Treasure is treasure. Come on, let's get out of here!
Okay, let's go! What? Finally, something interesting. Whoa, what's this?
And you thought this game wouldn't have a final boss. Beat the Guardian. So, Babylon Guardian. So this is not what you would call a classic race, and we are once again racing as Sonic. We're going to finish up the Babylon story by playing as Sonic to save the day. So as you can tell, there's a heart monitor, there's a heart meter and some such. So this is not a classic race. As you can tell, we're going in a Mobius strip. Well, not emotion. It's just your basic loop. What you want to do is this. You basically boost into the Guardian's lamp, hit it, and go from there. They would reuse this boss idea again in Sonic Rider Zero Gravity to, I would argue, much less effect. And I don't know if Sega was trying to bite off Jack X's ending. The reason why that one worked was just because you had the ability to, you know, shoot your enemy, that kind of thing. But with regards to Sonic Riders, it just doesn't work because, well, you're dealing with the genie, and it just doesn't really work. Now, as you can tell, we went through another lap, and the lap counter didn't go up. That's because the lap only changes when you do damage to the Guardian. Also, Amy changed her clothes during the transition, so her story straight. So that's just something to keep in mind. Grind this rail here. It's a fairly simple race. I don't even think you can even do this track with other characters. They have flight rings, and I don't think they have any power settings, but I don't think you can even do this race with other characters. I think you have to do this race with Sonic. So it's just really, really odd to have. See, right there, they have a flight monitor or flight notification, but it's like you don't use it. There's your power notification. There's a power notification here, but once again, you don't use it. And I don't think you do this with other characters. The only reason that I can think that you might do this race with another character is in challenge mode or mission mode. That's the only way I could feasibly see someone else, another character, using these skills or having you use another, you know, for all intents and purposes, another grind rail, another gear, unless you use a different technique to do this race. It's just not a thing that happens. So I don't know why they did it. I've never done mission mode, so that might be where it is. If anyone can shed any light on that, I'd be more than happy to hear it. But I've never actually done the mission mode. I think if you do mission mode, you unlock Super Sonic as a playable racer. I want to say you do. I know you do in Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. But yeah, this is the final boss. And it doesn't really come out of nowhere because, you know, Storm does mention 3 wizards, so that's your hint that there will probably be a genie, because it's a very, very, very awkward line. It's like, be careful what you wish for, because in the end you ultimately only get 3 wishes. So that's just something to keep in mind with regards to that. But yeah, no, you just gotta run into the guy. And I get it, it's hard to make a final boss for a racing game. I legitimately think only Jack X has ever done it right. And that's because it wasn't even a race. You literally had to shoot. You literally had to shoot Mizo down in order for you to you know, save yourself and your friends. So take that how you will. Take that how you will. Okay. And yeah, this race can go on for a long time. I don't know if it actually has a legitimate end. Oh, by the way, you might see like the names of the tricks coming up. Depending on who your character is, the SS and X rank skills are actually something listed as something entirely unique to that character. So for you know, Sonic like Twister, Blue Sky, that kind of stuff. For Wave, I think it was Double Swallow. So it's a nice bit of like personalization, but you're ultimately doing the exact same skill. So it's like what was the point? Like, come on, let's get us to this guy. Messed that up entirely. Okay, almost there. Just gotta use air a little more conservatively. Okay, running out of air. I also like how when you run low on air, you actually see your board shake underneath your character's feet. So it's like, okay, we're running out of air. You see the line behind you fade. So I like those little details. It's helps add to the atmosphere of the game. And there we go, last lap. And depending on when you hit the guy, that's how long this thing lasts. If we hit him right before the goalpost, then this little alternate reality digital dimension thing lasts to hit the goalpost. And there you go. Amy came in second. Wow, Jet, you're slower than 2 hedgehogs. You should feel ashamed of yourself.
Too awestruck by the treasure to notice me, eh?
Eggman!
Now hand over the treasure! What's so funny? Hand over the treasure right now!
Okay, catch!
The treasure of Babylon is finally mine! Huh? What is this thing? A piece of cloth? Let's see. This looks interesting. At long last, we've completed our ultimate invention. With this, our lives will be easier without the need to work so hard to keep ourselves flying. Stolen, the 13th leader of the Babylon Rogues. It's amazing. The carpet's rich texture is a sight to behold, and the way it feels is extraordinary. Something such as this could only have been created in Babylon. Undoubtedly, this carpet will be in high demand from all around the world, but what's this? No way! I went to the trouble of holding the World Grand Prix for this? I can't believe I just wasted my time for this piece of junk!
What's this? Good eyes. Didn't think you'd spot it for a second, Shorty, but you did.
Hey, what are you talking about?
This isn't just a piece of fabric.
Right! Take a look at the material! It's the same stuff we use for our extreme gear!
You don't say! Oh, it's...
Not sure, but maybe it's a prototype gear.
a magic carpet. I thought that those only existed in fiction. That's quite funny, actually. I never imagined that we Babylonians could be descendants of real genies. So, you're leaving this place? Yeah, the back of the carpet has more words of wisdom. It says, this was invented to allow Babylonians to travel all over the world to gather treasure. Some things never change, huh? But enough of this friendly banter, Sonic. You better make sure you're ready when we meet face to face once again. You bet.
Come on, Jet, it's time to split.
Hey, I wanted to say that.
We should split too, right?
Yeah. You may be fastest for now, but I'll be back, Sonic the Hedgehog.
And that's the theme of Babylon Rose, Catch Me If You Can. And with that, we bring them into our adventure in Sonic Riders. So yeah, a couple of big bombshells by the end of there. The Babylon Rogues, their secret treasure was the very first Extreme Gear, a magic carpet, which if you use it in the game, you get the ability to use flight character abilities if you're a character who isn't already a flight character. Pretty interesting use of the mythology on that one. Also, don't get used to Jet's theory that the Babylon Rogues were descendants of actual genies. Well, let's just say that at this time, Sonic Team had a pretty big obsession with space, and we'll leave it at that for right now. But overall, yes, Sonic Riders is, in my opinion, an underrated gem from the Sonic collections library. Yes, it has a lack of track variety, but the animation and CG cutscenes and all that stuff are phenomenal. The sense of humor in this game is great. The story is not too crazy, but not too I'll say not too serious, but it's not too crazy. It allows you to get a sense that you can enjoy the story, take it somewhat seriously, have fun with it, joke around, and then be done. And I still maintain that, barring Sonic 06, Sonic the Hedgehog in 2006 to 2009 was probably the best the character or the franchise had ever been. Yeah, solid game titles with a few missteps here and there that are ultimately blown entirely out of proportion. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Will we ever see a Sonic Riders game ever again? I don't know. I do plan on doing Zero Gravity next time we visit the Sonic's racing genre. And I'll go into my thoughts more about what I think of the Sonic Riders franchise there. But just know for now that if another Sonic Riders game gets announced, I will be getting it. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but if it does, I will be getting it. And with that, we're going to call it a part here. I've been Anansi, you've been awesome, and I'll catch you next time for the next project due on the channel. Deuces!